Yeah, Grand Chess Tour 2025 Superbet Classic. We've got all games in progress at the all of them, 5 super strong games played by super grandmasters, and the one I'm looking at the minute is Daniel Bogdan playing Abdul Satorov, the super grandmaster from Uzbekistan, and he needs 3 more moves in order to get the half an hour extra added to his clock, and that is the current position. What I'm seeing now is this guy on the A7 who seems to be a passer. Now, material is equal, but I guess if there's anything available for black, is that particular pass pawn. So I think you should be playing, insisting about pushing that guy in the safest possible way. So we should be live on a couple of destinations now, including Facebook, YouTube, Kick.com, Twitch. You guys choose your most favorable platform, whatever that is, and there you go. A5 being played by Dak because you want to push this guy and push and push and push it. So that's cool. Absolutely cool. It's worth mentioning, and it could be a little bit of hassle with the rook on the background. There's all sorts of things that white needs to pay attention to. It seems to me it is getting a little bit more complicated and challenging for white than for black. I don't know, but that bishop on a back rank with the king just doesn't feel incredibly safe. And it's just awkward. You have to pay close attention to this further developments. Quite a bit of a challenging situation here. All right, Abdu's having like 27 minutes. That cool and nice and all, but only 3 moves needed really. And of course he will. Of course he will. He will get that half an hour for sure. So that's 4:45. So I logged in now, just trying to do the live coverage for this amazing chess event happening in Romania, Bucharest, and wonderful games here. As per usual, guys, we're not going to be using any software or eval gauge, but sparingly just to confirm our interpretations, and then we could check if the engines agree. So for the time being, we're keeping nice and human and raw. We just try to think, because the engine is an invitation to mental laziness. You know, they keep feeding you up the best lines. You don't make a modicum of an effort to think about anything. So King E2 being played by Abdo. What is black supposed to do? I reckon this thing doesn't really work because you've got this idea, or maybe unless you precisely want to generate that. It's not very clear. I don't think Bishop G4 is going to achieve a great deal of nothing. So I don't know. On the other hand, I guess does Abdo want to get the king over to D3? You think, guys, to attack the But this feels weird. We'll see about that. We'll see about that. Again, I think it's more challenging for white than for black. That's a cool positioning of the rook. I guess you want to do stuff like this. I guess. You know. It will be a check, by the way. And then you gotta go here. And then they're gonna play this. And then they will be able to push this guy down. I think the more I look at it, the more I like it from black's point of view. Boy, oh boy. I'm gonna be very frank. I am rooting a little bit more for Daniel. I'd like the guy to score a victory here. I still haven't forgotten he won 2 days ago versus Levon Aronian. That's what a victory, resounding victory. I think for he himself, that was very good and strengthening his confidence. I think I can think of him in terms of a super grandmaster. Daniel, amazing. That move he played now, white, Abdo with rook d4. I actually want to keep an eye on that black pawn coming down. Just to be on the safe side. And there is another thing. Also, rook d4 had just stopped the bishop checking the king. I mean, not really stopping, isn't it? But anyway, rook on the fourth rank attempts to at least keep this guy a little bit in check because, oopsie, because we've got this and this. So the black pawn probably can't be pushed straight away. So just trying to keep that guy under close observation because you got an issue. You got an issue if you allow that guy to move in. So all in all, I think it's great, and Daniel should be playing his chances for eventually pushing for a victory. Why not? And thanks for the follow, thanks for subscribing, thanks for the likes. This kind of stuff really helped me a great deal, fellas. Don't be shy in terms of showing your appreciation with a virtual like and stuff. Cool. So let's peruse through all the games. What is going on? Ali Reza with the black pieces, Levon with whites. Hey, it's a little bit resembling, if I may say that, the game with Daniel and Abdo, in terms that black is having a pass pawn on the A file. It's just that in this current position, the bishop is missing. And there is another element. Black is actually enjoying an extra passed pawn. Whereas Daniel and Abdo, it's not an extra, it's just a passed pawn. Material is perfectly equal, so to speak. So I think it's very interesting. I think it's very interesting indeed. So the black king can just go very nicely onto h if there's any issues of any sorts, and just push this guy, I guess, for a while. There is like billion checks that black rook can play. There you go, you just push the pawn. Yeah, ideally your rook should be behind the pass pawn. If you guys remember our favorite logo for t-shirts, put your rook behind the pass pawn. So that's the favorite motto. Prague and MVL. Prague, what a player. This guy is frighteningly accurate. I mean, I really start thinking that Prague is just a different breed of player altogether. I think it's terrifying to play Prague, given the fact, I mean, his accuracy and stuff. It is absolutely... on what card exactly, man? Which one? Which one? What does people say? These or... Oh man, those messages coming. You know, sometimes I'm feeling that the WhatsApp is quite an intrusive thing. Specifically, if you're using it at work, the messages just keep coming when you're in the shower, or when you are in the toilet. You always get messages coming from all sorts of persons. Okay, I don't know if I can do this right now. Let me see if they're on the... I can't do it right now. If I do this now, I just have to stop the stream altogether. Yeah. Yeah, you can't do streaming and you can't answer various messages. It's actually irritating and annoying. You have to close the goddamn WhatsApp, tell them to go whistle so you can go on with your things. Yeah, okay, where were we? I don't know, I lost my thoughts. So when you do the stream, close the damn mobile phone. You know, just go with your stream. Those incoming messages, I start becoming irritated because of that. Okay. So, we were talking about this position here. Levon is white. Okay. So, when black reaches with the rook the 8th rank and the black pawn gets on the second, well, the first rank I wanted to say, and the black pawn goes on the second, white king has to position itself in such a way so that you are not checkable by the rook, because then the other pawn goes and promoting, and then you're going to have to just simply sack the white rook. So it's a game of finesse. You gotta be doing a little bit of finesse positioning here with black. So again, I think it's worth trying. White has to be very careful though about this stuff. Also, if you venture a bit too much with the king, you might be facing this skewer, and then things may stop dropping on the king side, so to speak. So it's not that easy. It's not that easy. Black has to be careful about this. Prague and MVL. Yeah, so I was saying how terrifyingly accurate Prague is. I think it's the most terrifying Super Grandmaster to be playing against. I mean, okay, Magnus, of course. But boy, oh boy, I'd be interested. Perhaps Prague would be a better World Chess Champion than Gukesh. I think Prague is actually quite getting incredibly accurate in his play and stuff. So we'll see. The guys are very young anyway. Hi there, Lucano. Thanks for stopping by, mate. So Prague is, they're very young. First thing first, they're annoyingly young. They're very young. I mean, like what, 18 years old? I don't know, how old is Prague? Gukesh is like 18. It's just super young. So Prague has all the time in the world to prove its worth in the future candidate tournaments and stuff and that. So yeah. Blacks to play here. MVL, another beast in its own right. 34 moves. So 6 moves, let's say, until they get the extra half hour. Righty. Black to do. Okay, what the heck are you supposed to do here? Looks like these are outposts for the Black Knight, including, maybe F4, it's an outpost? Right? But, yeah, I think so. It looks like outpost. What's Black supposed to do with the rooks, by the way? I'm just very curious. What's Black supposed to do with the rooks? It's a genuine question. And what this knight on c1 plans on doing? Oh, I suspect knight on c1 would like to challenge the black knight when they decide to go f or d4. I suspect. At the same time now, interestingly, the knight on c3 is pinned, my dear friends. Have you noticed? This guy can't really play now. I don't know, if you want to do something with the knight on c3 would be full exposure for the c2 white pawn. So you got to be very careful about that pawn in particular. It's only one defender. So getting interesting. Very interesting way to place your rooks, going for the c2 potential weakness. Unless you want to go with rook here. Oopsie. And then you free up your knight on c3 if that means anything. Difficult to say. Perhaps rook h2 and then some knight e2 opposing the black knight if they were to go d4 f4 or something. Maybe just saying. Yeah, thanks for the follow, thanks for like, subscribe, etc. So oh yeah, let's see, the Super Grandmaster from Romania, Bogdan Daniel, what is he doing here? He needs like what? Oh, I think he got a half an hour. Where is it? It shouldn't be on his clock. Anyway, last move, king e3. Wait a minute, let me just go back a little bit. I think I must have missed some developments here. Okay, so he pushed the black pawn so that the king can't just move f3 and stuff, and stopping pawns moves on f or h, so to speak. King e3. Perhaps you might, yeah, that feels very weird to push the f. Oh, very weird. And the white king is also very much checkable, but I guess he plans on going f4, also double attack here. So if the white king was to go f4, there is the potential to attack this guy twice. And that makes me wonder, is black supposed to play h5 after king f4? Just rhetorical question. You guys feel free to type in your doubts, your confirmations, and your complete disapproval of what I'm saying, as long as you also add some explanatory succinct notes. So yeah, let me go back to the life move. That was rook here. Do you know what that means? One thing first and foremost. The beautiful rook a1 to a2 means one thing. This f pawn can't move because the h2 is going to be captured ASAP. So we can't really move the f pawn being white here. You can't do this. You can't do this. And you can't move the king either. You can't move the king. So the king can't go f4 to attack here because of this stuff. So the rook on e2, boy, had been positioned. I mean, look at the black rook with white and despair. Look at the black rook and despair. I mean, this is uncomfortable to say. It is uncomfortable for Abdul having to play this stuff now. The passer on the A file, the number one cause for anxiety here, if I could say that, and the king inactivity. The white king can't move too far away. And those guys are weak, are really weak. Now I start thinking, is Abdul supposed to play rook d2? Just normal question. I mean, I guess the pressure is enormous on the second rank. I mean, just look at that. You tell me if this is comfortable for white. I don't know what the engine would say about the position. I haven't asked the engine. I have no idea. But for a human, just for a human being, playing this stuff over the board with this emotional charge, I think it is a bit of a challenge. I don't know what's white supposed to do here. I guess rook d2 should be played at some point. But then again, you have a massive issue. If you trade off your rook, you might be struggling with this black pawn. Medium long term, that is. You know. Yes, Fibonacci, that is correct. I think you are right about this one. White should try to avoid trading off the rooks because it's just getting really problematic. So, again, I don't know what the engine says because I haven't used it here, but looks you play as a human, it's a bit of a problem here. You really need to sit down and think very carefully your next steps. Again, I'd rather have the black pieces here than white pieces. Now, Abdul goes with e5. He goes with e5. Okay. He goes with e5. And I think I might know at least one big reason for this, being double attack with the bishop and the rook, of course, stopping the black king if that were to be a potential move. But there is double attack on the g4. That's not to say black can't play h5 straight away. Of course, I guess you can. There you go. There you go. So we don't need, guys, at every single step to feed ourselves with the software lines. We could definitely think and conclude for our own selves. So again, the engine makes us very lazy in terms of thinking and improving altogether. So that's not going to work if we want to improve as chess players. That is not going to work. So h5. Okay, defending g4. Fine, fair enough. The onus is on white now to decide the heck to play. Again, notice how difficult it is to decide on pushing this guy because black rook attacking h2, I think it's quite problematic for white. You got to tread very carefully here, guys. Very carefully. Oh, I need to take this call. All right. I'll have to give a quick call now. All right, let's try continue a bit. Okay, where are we? I've forgotten. Last move here that was played, h5 for black, defending the g4. Okay, fine. Okay, rook straight. Well, I guess you have to accept the rook straight. Well, you don't have to because you still got a bishop defending your rook. So I'm not sure if you should take this or not. Now, if you take the white rook, obviously bishop takes back. That goes without saying. It's an automatic move. But then how are you going to push this guy? You may need the king support, but how many tempi does it take you to actually do that? On the other hand, this white king needs like what? 3 tempis to getting there. So that makes me wonder, is the black pawn on a5 already compromised? I'm just asking. Is that guy already compromised? Now, by moving the white king away, is there anything that black king can do in compensation? And we could say that actually there might be a little bit of... But then again, you might be facing some checks, but you only need to do this once. So it is actually a little bit of a small philosophy here if black should be playing in this fashion. King g6, king f5. Very difficult. Good news is that it's move number 43, so they should have that extra half an hour, right? They get half an hour on the clock, right? That's the format, if I remember this precisely. So that's a very interesting endgame. There is a bit of a headache for white king. They have to tend that black pawn. You can't take it but with the king because it's on a dark square, so the bishop is completely powerless. The light square white bishop can't do nothing about taking or stopping that black pawn. Where did I put that stuff? Yeah, definitely you can't do live streaming and some other stuff. Sorry. There's no such thing as an ideal world. Things are not meant to work. In some circumstances, they are not meant to work. They don't work. They just don't work. Alright, so now I can see some updates on the screen here. We got some half an hour added. Firouzja with the blacks. White persists with this guy. I guess you got to play some rook g7, right? You sort of have to. You definitely have to. That's a must. So now if rook plays this one, obviously we take. If they push, you take. If they rook plays, you take. So black king has to stay there. The black rook cuts off the white king completely from having any sort of contribution. So these guys are grandmasters and they're still playing this endgame. I don't know what this is. If it's a draw, it's got to be the most perfect play. And even if they are grandmasters, they're still playing. So frankly, this is the stuff you have to pay close attention to. Now the question is, should black create a pass pawn here? Just I'm genuinely curious about this one. Should we create a pass pawn? Should black do a pass pawn here? h5, h4 or something? If you don't, what do you play? Do you play some waiting move? Like, what does that waiting move even mean? Is like king f8, king g7, right? I suspect white would be more than happy with the draw here. I suspect king f8, king g7. Black should be happy with a stuff like this. Probably. I'm not sure Levon would agree on this, but he's well within his rights to push a bit more. Prague and MVL here. Wait a sec. So g5 being played. That doesn't allow any pawn moving. Not now, no ever. So c2, exactly as I said, c2 was the main weakness a couple of moves ago when lastly I visited the game. So that's the weakness, and black managed to grab the c2 pawn. 3, 2, 5, 4. Okay, there's a pawn majority on the queen side for black, but white rook is there. It's a bit awkward having the white knight on the back rank. I guess white would have to try to develop a bit to, getting in action or something. Also, there is another element I'm just looking at now. Is there something with the rook c3, or is there a problem with this? Given the fact that the black knight is supported by the pawn, you're super safe with the knight there. Rook c3 is definitely a check, and then f3 is gone. Not mentioning the a3 is also takeable. So, hell, we can think about which one black should be removing first. The rook c3, I think it's definitely something to go for. Unless I'm missing some things. Rook c3, I guess rook d3. So if rook c3, you don't move the king. You block with the rook. You have to. And then, hell, I don't know. You take the knight takes, and that was that. Difficult. Very difficult endgame here. It's a difficult endgame. Okay, which one we haven't seen just yet? Let's browse through them. That is Gukesh with whites and Dura Yan with blacks. Right. Let me look at the material. Queen, queen. Oh, Lord. What's this, fellas? Oh, that's a check. But is it me or there is an extra piece here for Krzysztof? There's an extra knight, right? Look at that. There's a knight on a2. Well, the black king is in check, okay. But there ain't no checkmate or anything. The bishop on b6, it's a little bit of a big pawn, but as soon as you push this guy, I guess the bishop is very dangerous again. So just the problem, I guess, for Ian is to finding the safest square for the black king. Where exactly you getting that king? As per not getting that much checked and stuff, I'm not sure where you get the king. Do you go like on the 6th rank, you reckon? You go back rank or 6th rank. You can't be on the 7th rank. And if you go on the 6th rank, where? Also, you got to be careful of all sorts of skewers and things. Let me refresh the page, because it doesn't even show me who the heck is moving here. It should be black's turn. Queen h7. I don't see anything at my end. There's nothing showing what black choose to play. I don't know. Ooh, Abdul and Bogdan agreed on a draw. Let me see what the guys played here. Wait a minute, mister. Bang, boom, bang. Takes, and takes. Okay-ish. En passant, takes and stuff. King centralizes, opposing the king. Okay. Blacks try to support, but the king attacks. Bishop goes back, attacks the bishop. Bishop takes, and bishop takes. Okay, now that's a draw. Because the white king is closer to stopping this black pawn, so you're not going to be able to. And anyway, just in any case, you're going to sack your bishop for the pawn, as long as you take the other guy's pawn, of course. Okay, that's done. That is done. I wonder if there was something else for black here. No, the Almighty says 0.0. So, okay. But even if there were a evaluated draw, they were humans, so they had to play until the very last move, and it's perfectly understandable. The other guy may just simply make a mistake or a blunder. Don't matter who they are, just people. People blunder. People make mistakes. People make mistakes. Not machines so much, but people do make mistakes. So yeah, they should continue playing. It don't matter the evaluation and the spectators being ultra confident, like any bystanders. They all see everything. When you put them over the board, they don't see nothing. So it don't matter that one. I think they should keep playing. So rook f3. That's a bit of a thing. Whose turn is it? Black's turn to play. Well, what have we got here? You got a king move if you want to, and a rook move. Is it a king rook, a king move, or a rook move? You could do check, I guess. That's a forcing move. King has to move on the second rank, for sure. And then what do? You push this guy. Yeah, I think black definitely should push for this. Absolutely, I would play. If I were the black pieces here, I would totally go for this. King has to move. Now you're going to get this guy one more time. The black king is quite close to step in if rook goes away from the third rank. I think the king is more than happy to assist. But let's see. King can't move in check now, I know. I know he can't move in check, but it's there. The king is close in case the white rook goes up or down. We'll see about that. We'll see about that. So, black's turn to play. What the heck, man? What? Come on, now it's a draw, eh? Okay, come on, it's ridiculous. Down, that's a draw. That was it. That's a draw. Okay, goodbye. Prague and MVL, the last two remaining... Oh, actually, sorry, apologies. There is Wesley So and Fabi. They're also playing. Okay, that's Prague and MVL. Whose turn is it here? Move number 40. So that means the time should be updated very, very shortly with the extra half an hour here. Okay. What's that? Bishop e6. So white to play. Well, this guy is a bit hanging, right? I'm talking about the pawn on a6. What am I missing? Would you take the pawn on the black pawn on a6? Or would you do something else? If you do a check, I guess king has to go back rank. But then again, taking a pawn is important, right? I mean, taking a pawn is definitely important. So rook takes a6. What's this? You take a pawn. And you can do check then if you want. So rook takes a6. Definitely an idea. Definitely an idea. If it's this rook c3, rook blocks. So I guess rook takes, knight takes. It's a bit difficult. But I think one that's quite interesting is this one. So, as we said, king only had the 8th rank or the 6th rank to moving out of check. Now I'm happy to see the guys have taken their half an hour. King f6. I think Gukesh is really going to struggle with this one. But I think it's very strong. If black manages to activate that black knight a bit more, I don't know via what square you want to go. This and this, if you got a chance. And in the minute you manage to push the black pawn c5 to c4, I think white is in very serious trouble here because of the extra piece. The bishop on b6 is ultra secured, so there's no danger for that bishop. You just need to make it a bishop, not a pawn, because currently that bishop on b6 is a pawn. In the minute you manage to make it a bishop, that would be very good for black and not so good for Gukesh. Knight can be and should and must be repositioned. At the same time, the e4 black pawn is hanging, right? Because the white queen attacks it. They could take it right now, if they want. So queen takes e4. Every single pawn matters here, you see. So you're taking the pawn. And I guess black's going to do something about the bishop's activation. even with the price of giving a pawn. I mean, if you got this diagonal, that's huge. Very cool. But there is another thing. You take the pawn, right? Now I'm just thinking out loud. What about this then? Pressure on the g3 bishop. Pinned bishop, mind you. Then checks here. Oopsie daisy. That's a problem. Actually, you're losing. So if queen were to take and you play this, you're going to be punished straight away with queen c6. And you ain't going to like it with black. So you can't play bishop c7. So queen takes c4, and I guess you push this guy or do a little bit of improvement about the knight's position. Knight on a2 has to be repositioned. You can't leave the knight there. You got to do something with the knight. Anything. Just get the knight in the game. Because the squares will be revealing themselves as soon as you bring the guy in action. So knight b4, I guess it's the best course of action here. Bishop is pinned, fine. All sorts of things. All sorts of things. You name it. There's a lot of danger here. The only stuff I think Gukesh has it now, he's looking probably desperately to all sorts of checks. That could make it very, very chaotic and time-consuming for black, for Ian. So being white here, so let's say you are Gukesh with the white pieces. I mean, what else can you do apart from endless checks? Hoping for a pin or a skewer or... Yeah, endless perpetual checks. That's what Gukesh is looking for to do now. I don't know what else is here. Hello, Sam. Hi there, Sam. Welcome, welcome. Now, do you know what's interesting? White has to take the pawn if they want to check the black king, because currently the white queen can't check the king. Well, there is h8 though, right? There is h8, okay. And then you're going to have to think again. Where? There you go, king h8, yeah. Now king has to move again. You either play this, and then you have to think. They can't move the bishop, right? Okay, but there's other check. Well, let me see. There's another check here. Okay, queen h4. And then you have to think again. And again and again. Yeah, the black king is a bit out in the open. And white has the bishop diagonal and the queen, verticals, horizontals, and diagonals. So probably you're going to be checkable on very many points. And there is another thing. Yeah, the bishop is a big pawn. The bishop on b6 practically does not exist for this very second. The knight on a2 doesn't really do anything now. So black will have to find the tempi to get this knight in action and to push some black c5 in order to get the bishop to do something. Because black doesn't have those two pieces now. It's just the black queen that pins the bishop on g3. So on the paper, black enjoys one extra minor piece. On the paper. But strictly contributing with the attacking lines, those two black minor pieces don't do something now. You will need to find some ways. If you manage to get out of checks, mind you. So it's not that easy. I don't think it's that easy. And I don't think Gukesh is just going to drop the whole game just right now. I guess he's not very comfortable. But I don't think he's going to just give up the game like this. I don't think so. There's still some happening here. And anyway, I think he wants to make it as difficult as possible for Ian Duda to win it. So, okay, black king goes on e6 now. Okay, what checks have we gotten here if you were white? Well, you've got to check on c8. You've got to check on e8. Which one is it? What are the checks there are here? Now, just these two, I guess. Yeah, just these two. There's no other check. Queen c8, queen e8. And then, I don't know where the king goes. If, for instance, the white queen goes c8 and checks you, you're going to go in the middle of the board? You're going to go like king d5? There you go, queen c8. I just said it. He just played it. There is nothing else for Gukesh. So if you're asking like what might be the strategy for white, it's survival strategy here. What strategy? You have to check the king all the time. You gotta check this guy all the time. So where do you go next? Now the question is, I'm really thinking, you reckon d5, right? d5, and of course you're getting again b7 checked and stuff. You gotta be very careful. There's all sorts of things everywhere. I mean, if you're losing the knight, then I don't know what's going on here. If you're losing, gonna be very tough. First thing first, the black king is in check. Let's just put it this way. The black king is in check. They have to move. Where do you move? Well, you've got d5. You've got e7. You've got f7. You've got, that's about it. You've got f6. And boy, this is time consuming. You would say 23 minutes is an eternity, but it's so time consuming. Every single move you decided upon, you've got to check the follow-up after you place your king on that particular square. So what's next after you move king d5? And you have to start investigating, and that is time-consuming. You go f7, whatever you go with the king, you're going to have to start calculating a few more moves. Yeah. So that's interesting to see what happens. I hope you guys don't mind if we go quickly to Prague and MVL again. Let me go to Prague and MVL. Refresh the tab. Okay, move number 41. Rook takes a6. I did say about this one because it seems the most normal thing to play with white. Rook takes a6. Then you could play some checks and stuff. Also, white has to do something with the knight on c, right? I don't think you can keep this guy on the back rank forever. So you gotta go somewhere. But where? It's black's turn apparently. Rook takes a... Yeah, it's black's turn to play. What do you do from black's point of view? You do rook c3 again, rook d3. I don't know what black plays here. Rook c3, rook d3. Then what do you do? Do you trade? I don't think trading goes well for black here. You need every single piece you can keep on a board. The bishop has to stay, the knight, everything has to stay on a board. If there is anything, black may want to attack the f3, which is a potential weakness, this guy. So I don't know if this idea works. I don't know if it works. Also, the knight has to... You got to be very careful about this potential idea. That's a problem. That is indeed an issue. It is an issue. And this guy might be able to play this as well. So if you wanna, if you're giving black now the chance to rip, there you go, rook c3, which I did say quite a few minutes ago, but very light. Okay, how do you? No, not rook d3. Knight d3. You can't play rook because rook takes. So knight d3, which is going to be in a pin. Then probably this. Knight d3, bishop c4, right? Pressure on the pin piece, and I mean, I think so. And white, I don't know. You do checks. King's gonna go back rank. What's the... How do you continue? Very difficult. If Prague... I mean, this is actually quite difficult. Endgame. If you ask me what color would you want to have, I don't know what to tell you. Probably white, but boy, oh boy, you tell me how you're breaking that structure with the bishop c4. Knight on d4. Now if you play knight d3, you're going to place your knight in a pin forever. If you run away with the king, you're going to be executed immediately with rook f3. So you tell me how comfortable are you with knight d3 and then bishop c4 staying in that pin. You tell me how you're dealing with this. I don't know how you deal with this. I don't know how you deal with that. It's a very difficult endgame, and I wouldn't want to be necessarily with whites. No, I mean the path to winning is very difficult. How you capturing the B pawn? If white takes off the B pawn, then you could say, okay, they've got a passed pawn on the A file. But the B pawn is there. The black B pawn is right there. How do you remove that guy? How? I don't think you can. Precisely after bishop c4, you're not going to move that pawn. So king now, they gave up on the f3 rather than keeping the knight on d3 pinned. They moved away. Now f3 is up for the grab. He didn't take it. He goes rook c2. I think secretly they both want to sort of draw. This is so difficult to play. Yes, I think they secretly want to, and overtly now. It was secretly. I think now, very much overtly, they want to draw. I don't know how you play this and win with either white or black. So probably we're gonna see king d2 and rook c3. The question is, why wouldn't you take on f3? So king goes d2, I reckon, if they were to be repeating the same stuff. Then why wouldn't you take on f3, I wonder? I mean, I don't know. Why wouldn't you take on that guy? Okay, that's a question. And we're going to get the answer very quickly. So Prague played king d3. So Prague wants to go for a draw. Prague actually communicates now to MVL, look, it's the second time. If you want to do it again, let's... and there you go. MVL says, yeah, sure, let's draw. That's what he says, so to speak, indirectly or directly. Huh. Okay. If black goes again, I think that's a draw. If black goes now, rook c3 is going to be a draw, right? I think it's the third repetition. The third repetition here. Rook c3, king d2, draw. Probably we're going to see a draw now. This one is actually probably the most interesting ending happening here. Black king is attacked from all directions, everywhere. You're going to get checked everywhere almost. Where do you move? Where do you play? Can you imagine every single square you decide to move your... I mean, you could block with the queen, right? But the bishop is no longer pinned. I don't think white's going to take your queen. You could assume that. So if you block now with the queen, they're not going to take you because that's how they lose. So after queen e7, white will need to find another square to check the black king. But there is. There is this guy. There is d5. There is f5. And there is a problem because that's a bit of a blunder, right? I mean, you play this one, d5 checking and forking. And then you're going to have to play queen e6 to block the check and defend your knight. And then, hell, the white queen may just move over to h5. I mean, it's checks everywhere. I mean, you just get dizzy, keep calculating your response and then what your opponent might play against you and how do you react and so forth and so forth. And that is exactly how the time runs out for everybody. So you as a human, you have to identify now the most correct reply. Which one is it? You go king back rank, you go 6th rank, and if you go 6th rank, where exactly are you supposed to go? Or you block with the queen and you no longer pin the bishop. There's so many questions. So many questions. Gukesh will be checking the king every single turn. Every single turn Gukesh is going to attack that black king. Because you got nothing else apart from just resigning. If you allow black to actually activate the dark knight, to activate the black bishop and stuff, you just very well resign here. So he ain't going to resign because he's going to keep checking the king. And I think that's quite instructive. And for Duda is really, really a tour de force here. He's got to figure out how the hell do you break the vicious cycle of keep getting checked. You know, how exactly you gonna? What's the solution here? And now he's got like 15 minutes left because it's so time consuming. You know, it's so time consuming. And now let's go briefly to Wesley Fabi. 325, 325, isolated, isolated, isolated. Pawn island connected, 2 pawns connected, an isolated pawn. Whose turn is it? White's turn to play. White's turn to play. Well, you go for the d6 pawn? Is there something wrong if you go for this guy? Or do you want to play check? Well, if you play check, the king's going to go towards protecting the black pawn. So I don't know. Is there something I'm missing here? After rook captures d6, what is going on here? Rook captures d6. What's black going to do? I don't know. So there seems to be one very normal stuff to play. Did they play? No, they haven't. So bishop g5, last move. Okay, what the heck is this doing, bishop? Why did he play bishop g5 in the first place? Ah, now I've got the answer. I was wondering, as you probably yourselves, why would black play bishop on e7 where currently defends the d6 black pawn? Why would black play bishop g5? And now it just dawns upon me that actually that bishop want to go back rank and undermine those white pawns, which is something. You can't say it's nothing. It is something for sure. If that bishop makes it there, I'm not sure what you're going to play. So if you're now getting greedy for grabbing this guy, black's bishop going to go c1. You can't defend the b pawn. You can't. And this is a very serious question mark here. This is the counterplay Fabi had found against Wesley's white rook attack on d6. This is the counterplay. It's actually bishop attacking b2, dismantling those white pawns connected currently, but b2 is the weakest link. It's the base of the chain and it's the weakest spot. You got to hit them there. So we'll see, but I like this one. Also quite instructive. All of them are instructive. All of them. Every single one of those formidable games. Absolutely beautiful games. That is Fabi and Wesley. Let's see. What happened here? Yes, he blocked with the queen. He blocked with the queen, and boy, he fought a lot. And now queen f5, which we did say previously. That's one of the checks that white will continue after blocking with the queen. And let's check again. Check again. And now if you say, I go e8, you have to be prepared against g6. You got to have to be prepared against c8. You have to think about h5 and where do you go next. And with every single question that Gukesh poses for Krzysztof, there goes the minutes out the window. There goes the minutes away. So there's no wonder from half an hour the lad's going to go very soon less and less and less on the clock. From Gukesh's point of view, he got to go with checks every single time. Just checks after checks after checks. Duda, you want to hold on to the advantage? Boy, where do you go? Boy, where do you go? And then again, yeah, so he blocks with the queen. Again, check on d7, check on h5, check on d5. And we haven't finished, guys. Check on h7. There you go. 1, 2, 3, and 4. I don't know what's the solution for black to get out of the checks. I don't know where the black king should aim to be, you know, so that you're no longer getting checked or you force the queens off the board, or I'm not sure how you're going to do that. I'm not sure. And I'm pretty much sure neither Duda is very clear about that. He still needs to take it move after move. He needs to calculate at every single turn. He needs to calculate all those little subtleties, I mean big subtleties, that just are endless. Every single move is endless in consequences, and there you go. Okay. Hello, Michael. Yes, they are live game, Michael. Thanks for following, for like, subscribing. Greatly appreciate. Yeah, these are live games indeed, as we speak. I wouldn't keep the image frozen if the game wasn't live. It is live indeed. And I'm just thinking out loud. I'm thinking my own thoughts out loud without no help apart from yourselves. And I very much hope you're also watching without an engine on and stuff. Otherwise, it's just ridiculous. So Gukesh gotta go for checks. Again, you got 4 hot spots. Which one do you go with? You know something funny? If you were to play a check here and the king goes here and you play bishop h4, the black queen is gone. Just to give you an idea. So I think Gukesh is looking how to trap Krzysztof's queen to the king so you can make a pin. He's looking for ways to pinning, of course. And if that were to come, then that would be a disaster for Krzysztof. So therefore, after something like queen h7 or queen h5, you mustn't move the king on a dark square. You gotta go on a freaking light square. That's an important detail, and I'm pretty sure if I'm seeing this, I'm very certain that Krzysztof, even more, he sees it. I'm pretty sure he sees it. But just to highlight the idea for all of our friends, this is a genuine trap, so you gotta be aware of those. Luckily, they don't play bullet, in which you have to move like a maniac, and the probability for blunders increases massively. So with 12 minutes, you probably should be able to stay away from this kind of very painful pins and stuff. Yeah, appreciate great deal, guys, for following the ghost and for likes and subscribing and things like that. Helpful indeed. We'll see about that. This one is quite complicated. It's complicated. It's very difficult to play. Beautiful for ourselves as viewers. Difficult for the guys over the board. It's not a clear way for anybody. Gukesh needs to check all the time, and Duda needs to find the square where the king will take a little bit of respite so that the black knight gets in the game, activated, and the bishop moves the c5 to c4. I don't know when this is going to happen. I don't know. I'm really wondering like yourselves, guys. I don't know when this is going to happen. So this is Gukesh Duda, and the other game still going on is Wesley Fabi. So there's the other game. And then Bishop. So Bishop g5, as we said, aiming for this, and Wesley goes with b4, removing the potential target and weakness, which was b2 pawn after bishop back rank. So he pushed it already, trying to eliminate the weakness, and then hopefully he'll get after the d6, but it's not quite over. So there's still some juice in the game left here. There's still some life happening in the game. So b4, and now black could take. Do you take, right? Or, I mean, you're not going to move the rook. I guess you're going to take the pawn. Then you're going to take back with A. I guess you won't take with C because then you allow back rank checks and stuff. That's not looking very good. So I think after black takes, A takes B4. I guess white takes back, A takes B4. And rook has to go. You ask where, again, there's All sorts of squares for the rook. He didn't even bother. He went rook c7. Fabi moved rook c7. Can you believe that? Can you actually believe that? Now, if you go after the d6 black pawn, I guess black's going to take your guy on c3. So you can't just say, I'm going straight now to taking the pawn. It's difficult. Now, if you're taking this guy on a5, you're going to have 3 isolated white pawns, and they are targetable from everywhere. Very difficult again. This is another difficult endgame, which is a delightment for us viewers. And it's a roaster for the players over the board. Absolutely. So I'm really curious what's going to happen here. And there you go. Didn't we say it? Check after check after check. I think we might see a threefold repetition. I'm not sure how Duda's going to solve this thing. This is a real conundrum. I don't know how you're solving the endless checks. Yeah. So that's already the second repetition, guys. Queen e7, and if we're going to see queen f5, I think Gukesh, Ian Duda going to be the 4th draw. And probably the only one that may not be a draw could be Wesley Fabi. But this one, probably the guys are fed up with this. They're going to go for a draw, probably. There you go, queen f5. I think now we're going to see a draw here. Hello, Lucas. Yeah. Okay, guys, we're going to be back in a second. And yeah, stay where you are, fellas. Get yourself a beverage. Going to be returning in a second now. Okay, let's fix this because there is no other way. Okay. Alrighty, let's see if it works. If we're getting summoned again, we have to address that one in the end. Alright, so hi there, Lucas. Alright, back where we were. Let's see what the boys did. Blunder, King E7 was best. What? What blunder? What? Let me refresh the tab here. What's going on? Oh, they drew. Of course they drew. And I'm happy to see that the engine says it's a draw. So to my understanding here, White's gonna check the black king all the time. So you can't place your king. There is no spot. There is no square for black to put the black king somewhere safe to stay out of the checks. There ain't. Black knight is freaking far away from any theater of action. Far away. You need serious tempi to do something with the knight. The bishop on b6 is actually a big pawn. The diagonal is not open. So you only got the black king completely naked and the black queen moving around trying to block the checks. There's nothing else. Hello, Simpson. Indeed, a fine day, my dearest friends. Yes, good to see you too, brother. Okay, so I don't know how to solving this. There is no solution. You're going to get checked every single time. So it's a draw. Now, let me go back to Wesley and Fabi. The last stuff remaining here. And white to play. Again, let me highlight for our friends. Now black's going to take on c3 100%. Unless the guy is crazy. Yes, you take on c3 exactly as I said. Now looking at a3, looking at... Yeah, a3 is going to be taken. There you go. Now I don't know what white plays. Do you push the pawn? Exactly. Let me refresh the tab again. I want to see the live moves that happened. So a6 being pushed. Is black going to go b4 now? Are they going to go b4 now? Maybe. Maybe. Anything else? Can you put a little bit of power on this guy? But you got to be careful. What a truism. Of course you got to be careful. So he pushed the pawn. That's what I thought I would do myself if I were in this position. So you're pushing the pawn. Good stuff for black is that white can't really push this guy because you're going to take it immediately. So you can afford the luxury to winning yourself one extra step closer to promoting square. So yeah, I think it makes sense b5 to b4. Makes sense, perfectly fine. What's white going to play? I haven't got a clue yet. Probably check. Probably check. But then the king's going to play this, and it's not looking good because the king attacks the rook and the rook attacks h3. Probably that's the way to lose, if you're asking me. This is the way to lose. And I'm pretty sure Wesley is not going to fall for that. He's not going to do this. He ain't going to do it. Yeah, Lucas, my over-the-board Blitz 1822. Hello, Ernest. Good to see you, my dear friend. Happy to having you guys, even if it's 10 seconds or something like that. Thanks for the hellos, by the way. You guys go on with your day. You do your favorite activity or what you have to do on this Sunday. And if you stop to say hello, hello to you too, my dear friends. Good to see you. Okay. Is this a draw? I don't know. Rook now makes contact directly with the black pawn, which is attacked right now. You go. You kind of can. Is there anything else? Probably it is. Probably it is. Bishop d2, defending this guy. Keeping an eye on the h6. I don't know what to say. And if they play this, you probably got to go back, right? It's difficult. Maybe you should push the pawn. Probably it's a draw. Probably it's a draw. If you want to play it as a human, maybe the other guy makes a bigger mistake. Maybe they blunder, because even if they are super grandmasters, they're still humans. I think that's the fifth draw for today, ladies and gents. I think that probably is the fifth draw. I mean, you could imagine something like b4 to b3. This guy, this, you take and they take, and I don't know. But actually, it's not working. When this guy goes and check, actually, when they take is check. So that doesn't work. It's worth noting. It doesn't work. So if black pushes, you can't say you do this because black takes with check, with tempo. So it doesn't work. It doesn't work like this. So you have to be careful with all these details or the subtleties. You can't push. It doesn't work like that. The king is in check after rook takes, if there were to be. So black, I think, can push b4 to b3. As per white, I don't know what you play. I don't know what you play. Probably you propose a draw. I think this is a draw. I think this is a draw. How do you play this and win with either color? How? I don't see a how. Ernest says bishop e6. Lucas says bishop d2, king e2, freaked out. Yeah. Bishop e6. Keep an eye on this black pawn. True. It's an idea. Makes sense. Yeah. It's an idea. Indeed. It's an idea. So, what is black then supposed to play? What do you do? Do you play this? And when they take your guy, you take their guy? But then probably it's getting quite drawish, right? So I think, guys, this is a kind of a draw. Am I correct, guys? Is this a draw? No draw? Bishop d8, bishop d8, bishop d8, bishop d8, bishop d8. Attack the rook. They take you, you take. Still, I don't see what resources available for either color to push for a win. How do you force a win here? I'm not sure how is this not a draw. I don't see anything happening other than trading off pawns, trading off rooks and things. I'm not sure. I think I would go with the draw here because if they agree on that, of course, we don't know. 9 minutes Wesley, 16 minutes Fabi. Blacks to move. Don't know what to say. I guess you can move this guy along this dark square diagonal, but maybe bishop f6. Bishop f6. Well, rook takes, right? Tough, difficult. Or do you do a king move? You go on a dark square to protect this guy. Maybe you free up your bishop. Just saying. But then again, there's checks coming everywhere. Again, I don't know. Chess clock, just type it in. Oh, yeah, the DGT clocks, Simpson. Thanks for asking. It's the DGT clocks. They are wonderful. Type in DGT clocks, and they are. I'm using at the chess club. Yeah, we got a few tens of the DGT clocks. Also, those guys are selling the live chess boards as well. So it's the company that does the live boards. They do live boards. They do clocks. Just type that in. Lucas says that he thinks that white has to put the bishop to c4. In principle, yeah, if you manage, sure. But also you got to keep an eye on the h3, right? I guess, yeah, DGT, that's the thing. Yeah, it's very much used. By the way, Simpson, if you allow me, I'd say you have on your mobile app, if you go to the App Store, you've got a few apps that actually make your mobile into a live clock. So rather than spending your money buying a digital clock or an analog or whatever, use your mobile screen, as a clock. I'm very serious about this one. It goes very well. I play the chap. We use the mobile screen, and when you touch your half the screen, the time goes for the other guy, like you were to use a real clock. So don't buy a clock unless you're actually doing a club or you're setting up a club. There's no reason to necessarily buy a clock unless you very much into this and you love the idea to having a chess clock, which is again fine. But if you need one for purely playing another person over the board, you don't need a clock. You use the mobile, and as soon as you put the app, then that's it. Ha! Yeah. So use the mobile screen, install an app right now or after the stream or whatever. Just put like this chess clock on the app store and something's going to come up. Just pick up the app with the most reviews, most positive reviews, the most downloads and stuff. And that's your clock right there. Don't spend your money on a chess clock because you got the mobile phone, and that's more than enough. It's not a compromise. It's great. You're not compromising. You're doing the best stuff with the mobile phone. That's that. The chess clocks are exclusively for the guys that's setting up chess clubs. Then yeah, of course you need the clocks. For tournaments, for this kind. If you are a referee, an arbiter, you organize chess competitions, yes, you need the clocks. Other than that, you don't need the freaking clock. Unless you want to spend some money on this, which is okay, I understand. So, well, yeah, if you do bullet with your mobile, you might be just destroying it today. I get it. But, do some rapids anyway. If you want to play bullet, just play online. It's crazy anyway. I mean, you can't take it that seriously. If you want to do bullet, waste time playing online, and that's okay. If you do bullet, even if you use a normal clock, a club clock, you're going to slam it, man. You do the bullet, you're going to hit the poor clock, you're going to have to buy another one. Giddy up. Sounds very good, Simpson. So, yeah, if I am to play someone over the board, I'm using the mobile phone if I'm in the park or whatever I am. If I play online, I don't need anything. If I play over the board, I'm using the mobile screen. So you don't need to buy a chess clock. Nah. You don't need to. So, what did happen here? A rook b6 and black didn't move nothing. Nothing just yet. They didn't move nothing just yet. Yeah, of course. Oh yeah, I'd go with the draw here any moment. Nah, forget about it. Yeah, so I did say previously bishop f6, bishop b7, bishop d8. We vehiculated here, and I did say about this one. So you're protecting your pawn here, right? This guy. Now the question is, if white were to go for the h6, you're pushing this guy furthermore. That's the compromise. So if you go for this guy, if you take the h6 black pawn, just saying, black has the chance to pushing this guy. Right? Or am I missing something? Or do you play something else? I know. Oh my god, if white rook takes here, you're actually going to block the rook forever with this move. This is sick. And then you have freedom to push this guy or to grab this guy. Oh, this is so sick. Bishop e7, it's actually phenomenal. It's so exciting. Bishop e7 wants to say, if you take my guy here, I'm going to play bishop f6 afterwards, stopping the white rook from being active. This is actually quite creative and very courageous. Very courageous. This is brilliant. This is brilliant. I think it's a subtlety. I don't know what the softwares would have to say about this one, but for a human, I think it's fantastic way to look at a position. So you take my guy, I'm going to block your rook in. Therefore, Wesley doesn't even go for the h6. Wesley pretty much does, in the spirit of the same idea, he protects his pawn, wanted to say I can grab on b4 now, you can't take my pawn, and he's willing to give up on the h3? Oh my god. Oh my god. Well, the white rook can't take, right? Because it's this guy. But look, this is getting weird. The more I look at this, the weirder it gets. And it's... my lord. Jesus Christ. Let me look at the bishop c4. c5 now. I mean, hell, you didn't even take this guy. You go with bishop c5. Okay, I understand stuff here, but it's still quite sharp. Oh, wow. Man, these guys are shockingly surprising, eh? Shockingly surprising. Bishop c5 attacks the rook, attacks f2, the h6, it's like, yeah, go for it. Look, this is weird a little bit. I don't know what the heck is going on here. I guess if you take, there might be some back rank issues. Then you go here, and then what? We go rook a2, attacking bishop, implicitly this guy. This is very, very sharp and dangerous. This is a bit dangerous. This is a bit dangerous. And we're looking at two humans playing, so I don't care what the engines say. When we're talking about humans playing, nothing applicable. I think it's quite sharp and challenging to decide to play this kind of stuff. Definitely. 6 minutes and something. Okay, probably they should make it a draw just to avoid all this unnecessary complications and risks. I don't know what to say. I really don't know what to say. That's a check. That's what I could say and see. Where's the black king supposed to go? Gee, man, I don't know where it's supposed to go. I would say probably g7 because you want to protect your guy. Then, of course, there's more checks coming from the white rook. So, you see, it's quite complicated here. It's quite complicated. It is complicated. Dangerous. Maybe they should have agreed on a draw, but okay. I'd say king g7. I'd say. That's how I feel I should be responding here. King g7, so I could protect my h6 pawn just in any case. And yeah, well, we'll take it from there. What can I say? Probably. Probably. What else? I don't know what else. Oh, whoa, 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 whoa. They didn't do that just yet. I was just imagining. So we had 4 draws today. That would be the 5th. If the guys agree on it. Would be the 5th one. Yeah, so coming back now, Simpson, yeah, I don't think bullets should be the main fascination in your chess career. Bullet could be useful when you're learning a new line or you're learning a new opening or defense or whatever, and you need to have it practiced many times before you actually go into a live over the board tournament. So that's when bullet could be useful. So I'm telling you now, you're learning whatever you're learning, and it's nice before you actually sign up in a tournament to actually having practiced it many times. So you're getting familiar with all its intricacies and stuff. That's when I think bullet is probably useful. It is useful then. Other than that, it's just a funny way to killing a couple of minutes there. You can't possibly take it very serious unless you're playing for fat checks. You're in the first 10 players in the world, and there is a check for you if you're winning the bullet tournament. Or then, yeah, probably it does matter. Until then, I don't think it does matter. I don't think it does matter. Yeah, I do that. So I'm doing some Scotch game opening, some sidelines, and rather than trying it over the board officially, God knows what the other guy plays. Probably it's good to have 100 games before that. You practiced all sorts of stuff that the other guy might play against you, and then the bullet actually becomes useful. Do you know what I mean, Simpson? So that might be its usefulness. Yep, totally. Yes, guys. Okay, bishop c4. Oh, wait a minute. Black didn't move, eh? Wait, black back to the live moves. They haven't moved yet. Yeah, I don't know what they're gonna do. So look at this one. I said personally that the king should go perhaps g7 to protect the pawn. But boy, oh boy, Fabi goes the other way. He goes the other way. And of course, rook takes h6, and now they have a pass pawn. So, heck, these guys are weird, man. These guys are weird. I mean, okay. Now, what do you play, for Christ's sake? Do you do this in order to attack f2, like twice? I think you have to. So, blame me, it's still difficult. No, man, he pushes the pawn. Jesus Christ. He pushes this guy down the board. So all the bystanders out there that stay with I'm seeing the chat in the leeches, and those guys with the engine put on their freaking screens to banging about how this is a draw for like forever. It's ridiculous. They stay with the freaking engine on. The engine says it's a draw, and they keep insisting it's a draw. Yeah, maybe it's a draw, but if they were there, it's not very clear how this is very much a draw. So this is... When humans play, nothing is very clear. Or even if it were, it's still risky, and humans are prone to blunder and error. I was expecting black to react rook f3. But he pushed the pawn. That means if you don't take it now, probably they're going to go for a check. What I think white's going to do, they're going to go for a check. You don't do anything else but a check now with white. Because if you don't, there is no stopping of this guy. You could do this kind of stuff, but do you really like it now? Do you really like this one? Because they're going to push, you're going to play this one, we're going to pin, and I think you just lost the game. So, boy, this is very complicated. Very complicating. Rook h6, black pushed b3, and now what is white supposed to do? Really, what would you play? Not the software. What would a human play here? I'm looking just for checks that can get into another check and another check and another check. Or maybe you could do something like this, exactly, and this. That's exactly what I thought in the last second. And now I guess you got it. There you go, rook b7, automatically rook b7, automatically, almost. Oopsie, back to life move. Double attack on this guy. Well, if you push, they have to take. Certainly they have to take. And there is a passer here and the passer there. So, guys, that's really funny. I don't know what to say. What do you play? Bishop e2. What do you play? Bishop d3. What do you play? with white here. What is Wesley supposed to do? Complicated. You gotta save the bishop, right? But you mustn't blocking the B file as well. So you need the B file for the rook to protect that guy. To keep an eye on this pawn. So you need to keep the B open for the white rook. And in the meantime, you gotta find a nice square for your bishop. But where? You can't check the king now. White can't check the black king with anything. I don't know what you do. It's actually quite complicated. Can you imagine a move like ace? Nah, no, that doesn't make any sense. If white preserves those two passes on f and h, maybe there is something to go for in terms of winning sequences. But time's running out for Wesley. A bit faster than for Fabi. Difficult. A bit difficult here, guys. Rook b4 loses. What? Rook b4 loses. Wait a minute. It's white's turn. No, you don't do rook b4. How would you do rook b4? You don't do rook b4. I think you're referring to something else. Rook b4 now for white is completely losing. I think I'm reading a late message. Right, Ernest? I mean, rook b4 can't be played here. By white, that is. White can't do this. They can't do this, of course. Looks to me white has to decide what to move the bishop. D or E. D would be kind of playable because you want to keep an extra eye on this guy, maybe. Maybe you could play this. Just maybe saying, perhaps. Perhaps. Yeah, bishop d3 seems to me the move. Bishop d3. I don't know what to play other than bishop d3. Seems to be the wisest thing to do. What if you... Hold on a sec. What if you capture rook b... So you take... Well, when you take, they do check. Just an example. So you play this, and then rook takes check, and I think it's a draw. Oops, someone at the door. Hey guys, open the door for Christ's sake. Okay, I gotta go out the door now. Jesus. Oh, they gonna go? Oh, okay, they go. Right. Yeah, so bishop takes b3. Bishop b3, bishop... No, that's unnecessary, bishop d3. Bishop capture seems to be the most normal one here. Bishop captures. Did they move? Wait a minute. Let me refresh the tab. No, they haven't moved. 1 minute, 40-something seconds. So they haven't chose yet what to play. That's surprising. I don't know in between the bishop b3, bishop d3. I guess bishop b3 would be... If you go bishop d3, it's a compromising idea in terms that you don't take the black pawn, but you protect the a6 pawn. And you keep an eye on this guy. It's a bit of a compromise, bishop d3. I'm not sure if it's the most sound move, because I'm a little bit scared about the potential developments. I would probably say just bishop takes b3 and be done with it. And just try to play and see if you could do something about your f pawn and about your h pawn. So that's what I would say about this one. Take the pawn, black takes, checks you, move the king somewhere. Yeah, there you go. Bishop b3, rook's gonna take now, and see if you could do something about those pawns on the f and on the h. There you go. Check. So I guess you moved king now. Hell. I mean, where? King e5, right? You play king e5, moving... Wait. Wait. The heck am I talking about? Takes. No. Oh, all right. Yeah, okay. He pushes the H, right. That's a pass pawn, a free pass pawn. H. Rook now forces the trade. Okay, let me stop the mic. Let me stop the mic. Right. Right. Where were we, fellas? Oh, they move like crazy. Wait a sec. Wait a sec. I'm live now again. Wait a sec. I need just stop this. Okay, very complicated. All right. Where were we? Ah, that's the fifth draw. They did the fifth draw. Then that's that. Okay. Yeah, that was that. Beautiful games today. Beautiful games, of course. The guys are super strong. All of them, the lot of them. Fabulous competition. La, now, let me just try something here in the meantime. Oh man, I have to resize the things. I think the board is crazily outside of the frame. Let me see if the board is outside of the frame. No, this one is okay, but if I press the live one, okay, I'm gonna try to do it on the go. So 5 sec, 0 increment, and let's see if the board is. I think it's okay. Okay, you don't see my time though, so I have to resize the. You don't see my time. You don't see my time. You only see the other guys. Do you see my time? Yes, you do. Okay, then it's fine. Let's take here. Nice c3, attacking the queen. Queen gotta go. I mean, check. Trading? Yeah, what the heck. I mean, what? Let's attack, forcing them to take, and then I'll take with a bishop if I can. Taking, ready to make a pin, potentially. I would spend another tempo for this. I'd spend another tempo, I swear. I'd go bishop b5, pin the guy, if I can. Then just some pressure. Try to mess up their pawn structure, maybe. Then maybe I'm gonna give them some double pawns on the c. I don't know what he plays though. He goes for my c2. I think freaking makes sense. This, I don't know. You know, they might be just castling long. They might, and probably they should. But I like to play a bit more aggressive if I can. Let's play this way, so I'm not blocking my bishop. Well, I'm going for this guy, right? They castle. I should have gone the other way. Well, yeah. How about next time? That's what it is now. I think you're going to hit me with this. That's what I would play if I were them. And I'll try. That's what it is. Yeah, I might have, but I think I need to go back with this guy. I have to castle. I'll try this, but okay. I got to do something with this guy on the D as well. I don't know what. If they play this, they threaten some stuff here, so probably I'll have to take. They take with a pawn. Hell. Let me castle just in any case. I don't know the heck's going to happen, so I'm just going to castle now. I can't play this because the guy attacks it twice. Maybe I should be frustrating the bishop. I don't know. I'm just thinking out loud. Everything goes through my mind. So that's what I'm looking at. The guy goes already with this. Now I have to think. Could I take, for Christ's sake? Taking. I'm going to take with this guy. So where do I go then? And I go this and this. Okay. I can't tolerate that knight. It's too dangerous. Look, this is an ugly move. I'll tell you something. This is ugly. Ugly. But I might be lucky to doing stuff like this. This is ugly. It's as ugly as it gets. It's not the end of the world, though, if I may say that. It's not the end of the world. So I'm going to play this stuff now, freeing up my bishop. Don't know what the heck am I doing with that guy. But there is potential to moving things around here. It's not very beautiful what I done here. I might be just doing a pin afterwards. Then dropping like this when the guy plays h6 and things. Okay, now that's seriously pinned. I mean, it's just pinned. This one to discourage any attempt to go on my g4. They ain't gonna go there. If they move the knight, I'll take the... Wait. Yeah, I have to, man. Okie dokie. Next. This? No, I'm losing this guy. Can't do it. Oh, let's do this, and then maybe I free up my bishop. I don't know. It's not beautiful from an aesthetical point of view. It's not that good-looking position. I'll tell you something. It's not that good-looking. It's not. He want to come here. At least I can identify that. But I don't like it, man. He come here and he attacks everywhere. So that's the thing. If I push, I'm losing the freaking guy here. I don't know what to play, dude. I'm telling you, I don't know what to play. I don't know how the heck to play. I ain't got a clue. I could go this way. The guy goes here. Okay, let me play this. The guy's going to go here. And then I'm going to play this. I mean, what do you want me to do? Really? I don't got an option. That's what is. That's what is. It's ugly. As I said, it's not highly aesthetical. The focus of my attention now is to not lose. And I'll see if I get a wild chance to win anything, anywhere. So there is a bit of pressure on that guy. He intensifies the pressure. Oh, sugar. He's going to move the rook g6. I think the guy is just nicely executing me here, you see. He freaking is. Look, it's getting really uncomfortable. I don't know. I have a last desperate... That doesn't look good. He plays this. I'm going to play this. He takes here check, and just not good at all whatsoever. I might just... Okay, it's horrible. That's what it is. It's horrible. I can't even take because I'm pinned. He's going to take here. I might take here, but it's funny. It's blitz. It's bullet. It's whatever the heck is this fella playing. What is he doing? Oh, for Christ's sake. What am I doing, man? I have a hit on e5 once he moves the knight, but he attacks here, so I don't know. Oh, this is not good at all. He opens up the other thing for the other guy, you know what I mean? Yeah, he takes. Jesus Christ. This is not looking good. Nothing's looking good here. I think I'm a little bit done. I'll just accept it. He attacks my rook. Can I take? No, he checkmates me. He just checkmates me. He done it. He done it well. Okay. Let me see. Yeah, he checkmates me. Just that. It's bad. Bad as it can get. It's bad. He takes here. Not just yet, but it's a bit bad. He gonna push the other guy. So let's just take it now. Of course, this one is done. Let's try this desperate something. It doesn't mean anything. I'm checked. You're gonna come with the other rook? Oh, not yet. Okay. The heck am I supposed to do? It's just nonsense what I'm playing, but I may very well resign. If he plays this, I think I may have a chance. I think there is something fishy now. He should check me straight away. He should check me straight away. I don't know what he's playing now. I'm having this fork here that I'm going to play straight away if he doesn't see it. Or I'm going to play this thing anyway if I can, because I'm grabbing this guy. And I might be able to attempt some other stuff. Depends if he goes, yeah, I got the knight f7. The knights are annoying sometimes. He could check me, but he loses the rook, right? So that's a thing. That's a thing. That's a thing. 43 sec left. Maybe I can do some dirty flagging. What is this, guys? Dude, this is just what? I'll take it. I'll take it. I'll take the new developments. I'll take them. I'll do it. Okay. I'll accept this. Check. Bang. Oh my god. He could check me. My lord. What? Going. Forwards. What the heck do I don't know. Whoa. Wait a minute. This? The guy's gonna take, man. Yeah, well, whatever. Can I flag the guy? I don't know. Maybe this, though. Well, maybe. I don't freaking know. I know. What? Ugly, fellas. This is ugly. Dude, this is ugly. Oh, no way. Sorry, I did tell you about dirty flagging. I'm not proud at all. The guys were actually killing me on all fronts. The guy was destroying me everywhere. He was destroying me everywhere. But, hey, sorry. Let me see if I can rearrange things here a little bit. No, he was winning. Simpson. He was totally winning. He was winning. He was. It was just flagging. Sorry. Let me see if I can modify the webcam just a little bit so you guys can actually see the clocks and all. Okay, forget about it. Just what the heck am I doing here now? Let's block this. Okay, lock it. Lock the screen. Yeah, he was supposed to win. Michael Turner. Hello, man. Thanks for stopping by. My, what is that? My blitz is on the screen. I think it's 2000 plus up and down. My blitz over the board official is 1822. Just, I played one tournament last year. One. Normally you should play 20 plus. You should play every month. But I can't afford playing every month because of other commitments. I'm no longer 18 years old from a very long time, sadly. So I can't do chess tournaments every month. I should. And I suspect it should be higher. But I can't. So if you're very young, and if you have your family support, do it whilst you can. Because as you are aging and stuff, you won't be able to play as much as you want. And that's what that's what is. My rapid is the highest, 2200, 2100 on Leeches, 2200 on chess.com. Hey, is this guy gonna move or not? Oh, he aborted the game. That's okay. He's absolutely okay if he wants to abort it. I don't mind. It's okay. Maybe he didn't want to be with that particular color. Now I'm black. Should I abort the game because I want to play King's Gambit? No, I don't abort the game. You play with whites, you play with blacks and stuff, and that's that. Okay. Oh, a Lapin now? Oh, man. So let's move fast in the opening because if we mess it up, we might be flagging the guy, you know. What? Let me play something funny. I'm attacking his bishop. The guy saw, right? Of course he saw. Let me take with the... Heck, let's take with a pawn. He got to take back here, right? And then we've got this. Maybe he won't be able to castle after all. Come on, this is cool. Not allowing them to castle. This is cool. You mustn't allow your opponent to castle. And if he plays knight c3, we might be able to make a pin. Sugar. But then he plays a4. But then I'm going to remove the guy and then I'm going to attack him. So Simpson, if they do this, okay, I'm going to take the knight. Dude, he ain't going to castle. And I'm going to go with this kind of ideas. Looking at c3, I'm going to play knight a4. I'm going to go for the c3. And they can't castle. The poor lad can't castle. He can't. And I'm not going to play knight now, but the g2 is hanging, fellas. It's hanging. It's a free pawn attacking the rook. What's wrong with that? He could do queen f3, which, okay. They do queen f3. Okay, I'm going to take it. Fine. Queen f3. Do I really have to trade? That's the only move they got available. I don't think they got anything else, frankly. Oh, boy. Oh, mama. Bishop takes f1. Oh. Where do I go now? Here or here? They kind of like goodish both. I like them both. I like them here. I like them here. I like get rid of the bishop because it's going to be a complete mess for white having double pawns. Having complete naked diagonal and stuff. Attack c3, they defend. This one, I think it's gorgeous. I think this is just gorgeous. Because I'll take this guy. Well, they take with the knight, fine, but h2 is hanging. Everything's hanging everywhere. I think white king is horribly positioned. I think black king is super happy currently. I'll take the freaking bishop straight away. I'll take it immediately. Check again. Let's trade. Let's trade. This is the most healthiest thing for black here. Let's take everything. I am greedy today. What's it doing? He goes for my guy here? How could you do this to your brother? He go for that pawn. Well, what do we do about that? Well, I don't know. Should I play this? They take. Yeah, but after this... that's quite something. What? Okay. And that's that. Shall we finalize this one? Quickly, I'm going low on time. Let's take this guy off the board. If they play rook here, I'm going to play the other rook. No. I'm just going to play something like this. We could do very many things. Yeah, that's what I thought he's gonna do. But where is he gonna go? I gotta be careful though. He's got some things. Check his check though. That's a check. Well, we always wanted to trade. Let me see if there's something stronger though. Nah, let's just trade the bloody queens. That's it. Let's trade off. That's it. Let's trade. Let's finish this thing. And more than that, I think I'm going to sack the rook for the knight. I do not have the nerves for this. I don't have the nerves for this kind of stuff. I don't want to take it just now. Let's grab more stuff. And then I'm going to sack... Now I'm sacking the rook. I'm sacking the rook. Why would I... No, I don't sack the rook. I'm an idiot. I was just about to sack the rook, which I think is still winning. But this one is completely winning. That's it. Done. Come on, let's finish this, brother. Even now I can do this and win. It's not stalemate. They're still moving stuff and all. Aww. Why is they doing that? Let's finish, man. Come on. Now, what do I play? King and Rook checkmate? I don't know if I can remember. He wants to play King and Rook checkmate. I shouldn't play this. I should play Rook and Queen checkmate. Let's see if they do opposition. If they do opposition, games ends. If they don't do opposition, they lose in the next two moves anyway. So he wanted to do King and Rook checkmate. Maybe he thought I'm going to stalemate them or something. Okay. Should I stalemate the guy? I could stalemate the guy with Rook B2. And that's a stalemate. I think I should do that. Or maybe I should just move this one and get myself knights. Knights, get a knight, get a knight, get a knight, get a knight. You know we could do that. Okay, now I've got a prediction. The guy is going to let the clock run. Is going to let the time run. I'm going to be waiting now 2 minutes 25 seconds. I've got a feeling. I've got a feeling he gonna go. He gonna get himself a cup of coffee. He gonna send some nasty messages to myself. And he gonna sit and wait, hoping for me to just getting very enraged and quitting. But I'm not gonna get overly enraged. I'm gonna pretend I'm serene. Last chance to win £10,000. Oh, sugar. Oh, I have to play the lottery for that. Oh my lord. I don't know. I don't know the numbers. Unless I go quickly back in the future, get the numbers, come back, put the numbers, winning. Other than that, I don't know how I can get the numbers. I've tried. It doesn't work. I've tried. I don't know the numbers. No one knows the numbers. You go to future, come back, or you dream something funny, and then you're going to get the numbers. Yeah! President, Prime Minister, and Pope. President, Prime Minister, and Pope. And what else? And nothing. And Dalai Lama. And sugar, I don't know. They don't mean anything. What matters is not to create unnecessary suffering. That's what matters. Neither for you nor for others, if you can. That's the greatest achievement. The greatest achievement in this very, very, very short life is trying not to create suffering if you can. Neither for you nor for others. Didn't I tell you I had the right prediction? The guy ain't gonna move for 2 minutes 26 seconds. He ain't gonna be moving, and that's exactly what it is. He's not moving nothing. He wanted to make me quit the game. Oh boy. What are you doing, mister? I know you're pissed off or something, but I mean, I would resign. I would have resigned. Oh, Lord. Can you believe that? Hopefully the next guy is not going to do the same thing. Okay, let's go. Let's go. Let's go. E4. Ah, the Hillbilly Shuffle Gambit. Yeah. Hillbilly Shuffle Gambit. You guys all love a good hillbilly every now and then. En passant? Of course, en passant. The only French word I know. Oh my God, they want to take H2. I can't move the knight. This is a very dirty business. Let's get rid of this pesky bishop. That bishop has to disappear. Oh, you pet your dogs and the time runs out. Oh man, I think the guy was actually petting the dog or the mouse. Yes. So look, I have my deepest compassion. I know exactly. He was petting his mouse or something, and that was that. And now what exactly am I supposed to kind of do? I mean, I have an idea. Could I play this? Let him take now. Huh? Okay, look, this is getting a little bit out of hand now. It's getting a little bit funny. I'm going to take with the rook. Oh my god, he's attacking me. Let's stay on this diagonal. If they castle short on things, you never know. I think they create a lot of weaknesses here, fellas. I think. I'm looking at e6. I'm just looking straight into e6. But the guy is wise. Let's play this. That's the mother of the outposts. Now, good luck getting my guy out of the stuff, you see. Let's play this. I have no idea what else to play. But I think it's playable. I think it's good. He creates more weakness. Now, wait a minute. I'll go this, and I'll tell you why. Because I want to let my queen, just in any case, maybe I play something crazy like this. Maybe dropping bishop, queen, then checkmate the guy after this. I mean, I'm imagining stuff. I don't know if it's real or not, but I'm absolutely imagining stuff. Now, what the heck am I supposed to play? This diagonal, he will attempt to open up that diagonal, I'm telling you. I could do a little bit of frustrating ideas here. I don't know, man. I don't know just yet. It's getting interesting. I know. Where do I go? Oh, I got another plan. No, that doesn't work. Yes, it does. No, it doesn't. Yes, it does. No, it doesn't. And here your 5 minutes disappearing forever. They were never yours in the first place. But oh, he opened up the juiciest ever diagonal. Now I shouldn't blunder my queen with this move. I shouldn't blunder my queen. I should push the pawn. But well, yes, you most definitely have to play this. And then dropping this guy, moving this guy here. Maybe I should be even more courageous. Well, I'm not courageous, but if I were, I'm absolutely not courageous. If I were really valiant and brave, which I'm not, I think I should be insisting a bit more on the G file. That doesn't mean anything, the move they played. Should I be courageous? Well, the guy's going to jump on here. So what does that mean? It doesn't mean nothing. We're doing very well. If they take, I need to say thank you very much, so let's do this stuff. Now, how on earth do I get my queen to hit them very hard? Do I do this, this, and this? It takes me 3 billion tempies, like probably 3 tempies, but I don't know yet. Okay, it's difficult. Maybe after all, just bishop, just queen. Oh, he wants to open up, dude. He's kind of doing, but I can do stuff too. But then he's gonna stick this bishop there forever. That is annoying as hell. Where the heck do you want me to go? The guy is cooking stuff here, but I can cook some stuff as well. Now let's see. Oh, I know. After this, he's gonna play this. I already know this. But it's not over yet. Yeah, I know, but I'll take now your bishop. You're gonna take mine. I'll take your bishop. And I need to shut off the queen now. How the hell do I shut off the queen? What if I play this? Queen takes, this guy takes, and I'm gonna play like this ending. If I do this stuff, I don't think that's very bad either. I think that's kind of good. This. Okay. There is ideas. There is ideas. Oh, come on. Why? Why do you do this? Oh, Lord. Why does he do that? Okay, let him take. I'll take this one. So what's it? He's going to take my knight. He takes my knight. I take with a queen straight away. Like this. Okay, now we got this guy, man. He's going to check the heck out of me with rook here. Then I'm going to move the king. Then I'm going to get my rook and stuff and all. But maybe he blunders the queen. What if he blunders the queen? You got to be optimistic. Didn't I tell you? What if the guy blunders the queen? I just said. You have to be optimistic. You always have to rely on your opponent blunders to win. This is good. Well, if he didn't blunder, he didn't blunder. But I said, what if my opponent blunders the queen? All in all, assuming he don't blunder the queen, assuming the guy takes, I takes, then he takes here, then I'll take here. The game is playable. I think white is slightly better. But after the guy blunder queen, everything is done and dusted, and that's that. I was lucky. And I did play hopeful chess, which I absolutely do not recommend you guys to play. Do not play hopeful chess. I mean, play it every now and then. Maybe the other guy messes up. Okay. Oh, my favorite type of endings. King and pawn. Oh, yeah. Check my latest YouTube video on the active king, part 2, episode 2. Until then, let's try to figure out how the heck is black supposed to win. Let me tell you something. I think this is fully related to king activity. And it looks to me the best course of action is actually king to f5. Doesn't allow any white king approach, whether e6 or e4 or nothing. Blocks the white pawns as well. Gives you the chance to further on infiltrate your king onto g4, attacking g3, clearing the way for this guy to move up and promote. So I guess it's got to be this. If it's not this, I'm going to be very disappointed with myself, but I'm sorry. Now there is one little fine detail. If we go for this, they're going to go for this. If we take, they're going to go for this. But then 1, 2, 3, 4, queen. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So looks to me, briefly counting, move here, go there, move here, go there. It looks to me black should be able to promoting before white. And maybe, again, maybe that's the right stuff. Other than that, you're going to be repeating things. Or do you think, guys, is it a crazy, complete nuts move like this? The guy takes, you takes. The guy goes here. What do you play? You're moving up. I'm telling you something. It's either this, it's either h4, or it's king g4. And that's actually is the essence of the puzzle. This is the essence of the puzzle. Do you push the h, or do you play king g? This is it. Let me count again. This, right? They play this. Cool. But then I can play also this. Then they're going to be behind my back. True. But then I'm taking and they need to spend more tempi. Yeah, that's it. No, that's it. It's king g4. They play king e6. Makes sense. Pushing this guy. They're going to be right behind our back. Right. But then we take. They take. But then we're going to promote before them with 2 tempi. So that should be enough to win. Yes, giddy up. Now we're going to move this guy. Very important. They don't have any other funny stuff to do. There you go, fellas. There you go. Now we take on g3. They capture, but then, hey, way to go. Way to go. Queen is coming. 3 steps, we get the queen. They need hell. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You get the queen in 3 steps. They need 5 tempi. You're going to be able to sort this out. So that was the beautiful, quick king and pawns endgame. Thanks very much for watching, guys. Tomorrow, Monday, 12th of May, let's meet up again, fellas. After I'm finishing my chess club, I'll try to do some puzzles, some rapid, some puzzles. Maybe watching the Superbet Romania Grand Chess Tour.